Hi, it's Ella. Thank you for being here with me today. I got a little bit of sun. When I was outside earlier, I took the dogs to the dog park. Um, and my my girl Phoebe, she needed to run around and just be around other dogs. She needed to run off some energy, and um, so Hugo went along for the ride, and I actually was carrying him in a little sling. Um, so it was pretty funny. Um, and we were there for about an hour, actually. The weirdest thing that happened, and it was pretty weird, honestly, it's pretty weird and pretty unexpected, was that I actually got hit on by two different guys. I find that hilarious, okay? Absolutely hilarious because I don't pick up on cues when someone is flirting with me. I don't, like, it just doesn't register with me. That's part of the whole autism thing. But these two particular people were extremely obvious. And it's like I wasn't even actually in the dog park. I had left and we were walking on the sidewalk, and one guy was at the bus stop waiting for the bus, and he starts trying to chat me up, and I'm just like, no, no. He was actually kind of cute, but I'm like, I'm just no, I cannot be bothered right now to talk. No, just no. But the other guy was just brazen. I mean, he literally just walked right up to me and said, "Excuse me, I just live like right here, and I just I find you really attractive, and I just want to know if you want to hang out sometime." And I was like, I was like, no, thanks, but no thanks. Actually, I didn't even say it. I was like, no. Kind of harsh, I guess, huh? Oh well. Uh, so, the good news of the day, and it is the best news that I could have gotten today, honestly, is that my passport is on the way back to me. Yay! Finally! Oh my goodness. This has been really stressful, just waiting for that, because obviously I literally can't travel without the passport. Um, I also have to get a visitor visa for Bali, and of course you have to have your passport to get that. So the visitor visas for Bali is actually quite easy. It's nothing. There's nothing involved. Like, there's no application or whatever. Basically, you just say, "I need a visitor visa. Here are my travel. Here are my travel plans, etc." And you just pay the $35 and you get the visa. So some visas you have to apply. You have to kind of like give a statement as to why you're visiting a certain place and what you're going to be doing and yada yada yada. But this is not like that, so thankfully. But like, I still have to figure out where I'm going to be staying the first couple of nights I'm there, and the last couple of nights that I'm there. I mean, I still have a lot to do. So this morning I went to the Container Store. I'm not really a fan of going into big box retail type places like that. But there are certain things that they have that literally you can't find anywhere else. So And I just needed a couple things for travel. And so I made myself go there and I got what I needed. So, yeah. And I actually don't think I got anything that I don't need. So I consider that a win. Because places like that, like they suck you in. It's like Target, you know? You go in there and it's like you need whatever, toilet paper and whatever. And it's like you walk out with all this other stuff and it's like, I wasn't even here for this, you know? It's like, I hate that. I really hate that because it's just consumerism and capitalism and I'm not a fan. It's interesting, actually. This is something else interesting. Okay, let me try and finish my initial thought that I was going to say about Container Store first. So the Container Store is absolutely one of those places that you just walk in and like you can just get completely sucked in, and you know, an hour and a half later you're wandering up to the register with like this basket full of stuff, and it's like, whatever, you know. I did not do that. So I was like, I just went to the travel section. There were a couple of things that were annoyingly expensive to purchase, like online or whatever. But you know, or the shipping wouldn't have gotten it here on time or whatever. So I had to go to the store, go to the place to get the things, and so I did. And that's all I got. They did have a really cool thing that I was like, oh, I really want that, but I really cannot spend $60 on that. No. So there's just so much, like there's so many things that have been created since the last time I was on a really big trip. So, and you know, people have been traveling internationally for how long now? Let's say, how long has international air travel, you know, commercially? I'm not talking about military, I'm not talking about for war, just commercial. Like, actually, that's been around for, I don't know, a long ass time, like what, 70 years? No, 80 years, something like that. So, you know, people have been traveling internationally for a very long time. Pretty sure that people got along just fine without all the stupid gadgets, you know, that are out there and available now for you to purchase. I'm just saying. So, anyway, that was one thing. Oh, now I forgot the other thing that I started getting all on a tangent about. Let's see if I can remember it. I don't know. It's gone. Yeah. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Oops. So, yeah, I leave in like 10 days. No, not even 10 days. I leave in 9 days, actually. Yeah, I was like, wait, it's 9 days. I leave in 9 days, y'all. This is blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind. And I remember the thing. Okay, so last night when I went down to the garage to get my suitcase, so here, I feel very confident that I am going to be traveling, living, you know, essentially living out of a suitcase for a month. And I'm going to be traveling. This is a funny story. You're going to laugh. You're going to appreciate this. So anyway, I went to get my suitcase in the garage and I pulled the stuff out of it that was in it. And I realized, I'm like, oh, I forgot about this pair of leggings and this pair of leggings and this, top and this whatever. And it's like, you know what? Granted, it's only been, I've been here for, how long have I been here? I'm making all kinds of sense today, aren't I? Goodness. Okay, let me just think about this for a second. I guess it's been 6 weeks. It seemed like less time than that. It seems like more time than that. Anyway, it's somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks that I've been here, okay? And granted, my activities on a given day have been, relatively narrow in focus. But the funny thing is that I didn't actually bring that much in the way of clothing. And there's like a bunch of clothing downstairs still that I haven't even touched. And I'm like, even though I have gotten rid of an enormous, ridiculous amount of stuff, I still have a ways to go. Okay? I still have way too much stuff that I don't use, that I don't use and that I don't need. And I know that, but it just hit me in the face again last night as I was pulling the stuff that was in the, that was in that suitcase out of it and putting it into a different one. So I'm taking with me one mid-sized suitcase. It's not, so it came in a set of 3. Okay, there's the giant one that I could actually fit into, and then there's the one that sits inside of that, and then there's the little carry-on rollerboard that sits inside of that. Okay, so I'm taking the middle one as my main suitcase. I actually haven't decided yet what I'm going to be taking as a carry-on. The only thing that I have with me is my carry-on rollerboard, which I'd rather not use, only because then you have to get up to get it out of the overhead, and also sometimes on international flights, I think it's a small enough rollerboard that it would still be acceptable, but I don't know actually. That's something else that I just haven't checked into yet. So I may not be able to use that one. I don't know. But anyway, I'm trying to get away with just one main carry-on bag, like a tote bag or whatever, and then my little purse that I'm carrying that really only has like my passport, my sunglasses, and the case, a pen, just a very small purse that will fit inside of the larger bag. So yeah, so I'm still trying to sort that out. Anyway, I am actually, now I also know that I'm going to have access to laundry facilities, which is a good thing because I'm going to be sweating a lot. So I'm going to need to wash some clothes often. But here's the thing. I'm going to be gone for a month and 30 days, basically. And I'm taking literally 2 bags. The bag that I'm checking and a tote. That's it. I'm super proud of myself, actually. So now here's the funny story that I'm finally getting to. The first time that I ever left the country was in 2008 when I went to Italy to take classes from amazing teachers for making glass beads. So we were technically in Murano, Italy. So we were outside of Venice. It was one of the smaller islands. Murano is known for its glass. So when I went on that trip, again, first time I'd ever been out of the country. Also, I was 100% clueless about how to pack. I would say how to pack light, but that would be too harsh of a contrast to the way that I actually packed for that trip. It was unbelievable how much stuff I brought with me. I had a different set of luggage, okay? But it was still like the giant suitcase that a human easily fits into. And then the one that sits inside of that, and then the little carry-on rollerboard that sits inside of that. Well, all of that luggage, first of all of that luggage was significantly, I wouldn't say significant, it was bigger than the luggage that I have now, but also it was significantly heavier. And the carry-on rollerboard was not rated for international travel. It was not okay. So I was really kind of, I ended up having to check it on a flight from Madrid to Venice, and then Venice to Madrid. So, and I was not anticipating that. So yeah, that I got rid of that luggage. But y'all, I brought all three of those cases with me, plus a carry-on, like, you know, probably a big backpack is my guess. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was a backpack. So I literally had, when I got to Italy, the most ridiculous thing ever, because the wheels, you know, they weren't 360 degrees. They didn't spin around. It's like, you know, you had to like drag it. So here I am, all by myself in Venice with these giant suitcases, all of them stuffed to the gills with stuff. I mean, it was hilarious, to be perfectly honest. Like, oh, there's that American first-time traveler. Yep. Oh man. It was, I mean, now I look back on that, I'm just like, wow. I was cursing up a storm when I got to the island of Murano. And I get off the Vaporetto, the water taxi essentially. And here I am, it is pouring rain. And I have these 3 giant bags. And guess what? It is like Venice in that it is all connected with canals. So there are footbridges that go over the canal, which means there are lots and lots of steps. And of course, the little place that I was staying at was over, I think it was 3 footbridges that I had to, and they were, you know, and they go high up over. Oh man, that is too, I had not thought of that in a long time. That is just so funny. That is never going to be me again, by the way. Never, ever going to be me again. This time I've actually been really good the last several trips that I've taken with traveling so much lighter. Everything I have is travel size, and which actually I didn't have travel size stuff for when I went to Italy. I had like these big bottles of shampoo and conditioner. Oh my God. Crazy, right? Like, what a stupid thing to do. I mean, really, I was just clueless. Just absolutely clueless. I was like, it'll be okay. Yeah, I really didn't think that one through very well. Anyway, so I've streamlined my packing process, thankfully. And so so now it's like I don't even worry about approaching the weight limit for my checked bag. I don't worry about having too many carry-ons because I know I won't. And that is a significant change, and a very, very welcome change, by the way, because it gets real, it's expensive, but it's just laborious to have all that, to be dragging all that stuff with you. So I think really the theme of today's video is stuff. And how much stuff do you really need? And trust me, I am someone who, I've said this before, my environment that I live in is extremely important to me. It needs to be very comforting. It needs to have all of my things around me, my books, my crystals, tapestries, color, bold color, all of those things. Hugo's coming down the hall, so you hear the tags jangling. It needs to have all of that, okay? But even with having all of that, I still have more stuff than I will ever use. And that's just something to think about, This is Hugo. Oh, Hugo must have just eaten because he just gurgled. And he's licking his chops, and you smell like dog food. So he just ate, and you yum, 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 yum. Hugo is 13. He's a Pomeranian. He's super sweet and funny. And he's also an a-hole. Aren't you, buddy? Are you an a-hole? Are you a first-class a-hole? He's like, that's me. That's how I roll. Right? He's like, where's the food? Num, 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 num. It's all about the food with him, always. So, anyway, this is my friend's dog. So, wow, he really smells like dog food. Anyway, so it feels good. It feels really, really good, actually, to be very consciously bringing less stuff with me and to be very conscious about having less stuff. It feels really, really good. And I love my stuff, y'all. I do. I love my stuff. But even I acknowledge that I still have way too much. So, something to think about there, And actually, I really do want to talk about the whole Marie Kondo sparking joy thing, because that is incredibly misunderstood. But I've already gone on long enough today for this video, and that really deserves a video of its own. So I will definitely talk about that on another day. So yeah, just evaluating how much stuff you really need and is really useful and helpful. So anyway, that's it. So thanks for joining me. Thank you so much for being here with me. Think about how much stuff you have, and think about how much stuff you really need. I bet you need a lot less than what you actually have. And I think that's probably the case for most of us, especially in this Western world, All right. See you later.